Good morning, friends. Welcome back. So, yesterday we were discussing about the hardware part of our computer and server. Okay, and we have seen the four major parts of our hardware: CPU, RAM, hard disk, and NIC card. Not much about NIC card in a way, because the NIC card we will see in some other topic, that is in CCNA. But we know how we need to choose a CPU, RAM, and a hard disk. Okay, so these are the four major components we have with, of course, motherboard. All these components will be connected to motherboard only, right? Okay. On top of this hardware, we know without operating system, a hardware will not work. Whether it is a laptop, computer, server, router, switch, firewall, or even your mobile phone, there is a OS there. There is an operating system like Android or maybe like Mac OS, whatever, iOS. So every hardware machine has a operating system. Without operating system, it is not possible to use a hardware. Now, normally what we do, what I'm using as of now, in my computer, I'm using Windows 10 operating system. You may be using Windows 10 operating system, or maybe someone is using Windows 8 operating system. And very soon we can go with like Windows 11 operating system also, right? So there are different types of operating systems we have. Majorly, there are two types actually. Operating system is of two types. One is called client operating system and another one is your server operating system. This is OS. One OS is your client OS. So what is this client OS and where exactly we use this client operating system? Let's see. Client OS is used in computers and laptops. Example of client OS are Windows 11, Windows 10, Windows 8, Windows 7. I'm just writing the most famous that you know maybe. Windows XP also maybe you're aware of. Windows 98, etc. There was something called Vista, Millennium, 2000, 95. There are some more operating systems and I'm just writing the most famous one. Okay. So these are the client operating systems we have and these operating systems we use in our computer or laptops. Out of these operating systems, this Windows 7, Windows XP and 98 or whatever is there before Windows 7, all these operating systems are outdated. Now, what exactly outdated means? Outdated means, actually, Microsoft is not providing you the new operating system or a new version of this, or Microsoft is not providing this support on this particular operating system. Okay, so there are no updates also. So this is what outdated means. So there is no update on this OS, there is no support, and there is no new version coming on this operating systems from Windows 7 and the older one. Okay, so this is the operating systems that we use as of now are Windows 8, 10, and 11 only. Now, client operating system is used in computers and laptops, but what exactly is the use of operating system? Normally the definition of operating systems we keep on like, reading somewhere or someone may to have told you like operating system is the interface between user and hardware. Yeah, OS is the interface between a user and a hardware. Who is the user? I am the user, you are the user. What is the hardware? The hardware is your machine, right? So how to interact with my hardware or how to save some data in my hard disk? Operating system will allow me to save the data in the hard disk. Or how to browse some internet? Operating system will allow me to browse the internet. So operating system is the interface between a user and a hardware, right? In this operating system, these are the two types. One is a client operating system, one is a server operating system. And these are the types of client operating systems we have. These are the versions you can say, like Windows 11, 10, 8, 7, and all those things. Okay. Now, what exactly is the use of OS? Okay, it is the interface between user and a hardware. That is good. That is well and good. But my question here is what we can do on this client OS, or what we can do in this operating system. Okay, I'll just say like this. In this operating system, we can do browsing. Okay, what else we can do? We can open audio and video files. Then audio and video files. Then what else we can do here, friends? We can do some office work. Maybe we can play some games, etc. This is what we do on our machine, right? By using this client operating system, we can do some browsing. We can play some audio or a video game. We can do some office work, and okay, we can play some games and all those things. This is what we do. Exactly. There is a message here like we can mount other applications on it. Exactly. To do browsing, there is application called Google Chrome, or there is a browser. There is a default browser available, but normally we go with a third-party browser, right? Browser is the application. To open audio and video file, we need to again go with the application. What we do on top of this operating system, we install application. That is the next stage. Okay, we need to install the application so that we can we can do this office work properly. So by default in your Windows operating system, there is an application called WordPad. This is by default available, but see, there are very few options available here, right? But what if you go with MS Office? In MS Office we have MS Word. So if you go with this MS Word, see how many more applications we have. In WordPad we have only file and home and view, but here see file, home, insert, draw, design, layout. We have like many options here, right? So yeah, on the top of the operating system we need to install some applications, right? So now client OS is used for all these activities. We can browse, we can play audio file or a video file, or we can play some games, or we can do some office work. All these things are possible in your client OS. Done. These are the things we should know about client OS. What is client OS? What is the purpose of client OS? And what are the types of client operating system? Done. Now, the other type of OS here is your server operating system. Okay, so what exactly is a server operating system? Server OS, first of all, is used in server machines. That is the main thing. Okay. Have you ever used any server operating system, friends? Do you know how to use any Windows server operating system? I think some of you are having some experience, so maybe you know, but if there is a fresher here, maybe he can feel like he has no idea of server operating system, right? But I can say one thing for you. If you know how to use Windows 8 operating system and Windows 10 operating system, you already know how to use a Windows Server operating system. So what you see on your screen, there is this PC, there is a recycle bin available, there is a start menu. In this start menu, we have some options. Okay, there is this computer option where we can see downloads, documents, and all those things we can see here. So your server operating system will be exactly like this. Okay, your server operating system will be exactly like that. So by using that server operating system, what we can do? If the server operating system is exactly like a client operating system, then what is the difference here? Okay, so first of all, server operating system is used in servers. The second point that we need to understand here is server OS is similar to client OS in use. Now, it's a very simple point. What I'm saying, server OS is similar to client OS in use means if you install a server operating system, like suppose Windows Server 2016 or Windows Server 2012 or Windows Server 2019, whichever server OS, it works like your Windows 10 OS. We can do browsing there. We can open an audio and a video file. We can do some office work and we can play some game. We can install some game and we can play some game. It will support all these things. Okay. Server OS is similar to client operating system. So if it is so similar to client operating system, then what is the difference? One of the difference here is, see, every software is a paid software. There is no software which is free in a way, right? Most of the softwares we need to pay. And if you see like some software is free, it is free only for some time and only some basic options are free in that particular software. Not everything is free. Got it? Okay. So server operating system and client operating system. One of the difference here is the pricing. We need to pay money, right? Company have to purchase a license for client operating system or company have to purchase a license for server operating system. So when they purchase a license for client operating system per machine, the license cost may be like around $80. That is suppose for say Windows 10. Okay. But if you are going with like Windows Server operating system, so if you go with like Windows Server operating system, Windows Server operating system may cost you around $2,000 or it may cost you more or it may cost you a bit less also. So when I said server OS and client OS are similar in use, I'm just saying they are similar in use. They're similar in the operating wise. Like I showed you, there is a recycle, there is a control panel, there is a documents option, there is a download option. Okay, there is hard disk partition, there is start menu, there is a date and time on the bottom right of your screen. So these things will be same. They look same. I repeat, the client operating system and the server operating system, they look same. The operating wise is same. But server operating system is not designed to play a game. Server operating system is not specially designed to open an audio or a video file. We can do these things, but see, no one is spending $2,000 to play a game or to open a audio or a video file or to do browsing and all those things, right? So server operating system is designed for a special purpose, and the purpose for designing the server operating system is administration. Server OS is designed for network administration. This is a very, very important point we need to remember, friends. I repeat, server operating system is designed for network administration. Network administration means, there is a computer network with some tens and hundreds and thousands of computers. How you can manage all those computers, how we can, provide security on all these computers, how you can provide some policies, how you can take backup. So generally, how you can manage a computer network. So by using this server operating system, you can control your network, you can manage your network. This is the main purpose of designing a server operating system. I repeat, this is the main purpose of designing a server operating system, to manage a computer network. Client operating system is designed to manage a single computer. Server operating system is designed to manage a whole network. This is the major difference between client OS and a server OS. Server OS, we can do everything that is possible in a client OS, like browsing, audio, video, games, and all those things. But it is not designed for this. No one will use a server operating system by paying $2,000 in his or her personal computer. I repeat, no one will use, no one will pay $2,000 just to use server operating system in their personal computers. This will be used only in companies. 99.9% cases, it will be used only in companies to manage a computer network, to run some services on the server operating system. That is the main purpose. Okay, so if you know how to use Windows 8 and Windows 10 operating system, you already know how to use a Windows Server operating system. Operating wise, it is same, but configuration wise, it will be different. So what we are learning in our courses, we are learning what is server operating system, how to install server operating system, and how to configure server operating system. That is what you need to learn. Hardware server is hardware. There is nothing much about hardware. We are learning about a operating system, that is a server operating system. So if someone asks you a question like which server you are using in your company, that means this person is asking about the server operating system. He is not asking about the server hardware. If you specially mention the name like hardware, then we need to select, okay, this is my hardware configuration. But when a person is asking like which server you are using in a company, that means he is asking about which server operating system. Is it Windows Server 2012? Is it Windows Server 2016, 19? Or is it Linux operating system? In Linux, again, there are many versions. There is something called CentOS, there is Red Hat, Ubuntu, Debian, Fedora. There are like many operating systems here again. So all this comes, most of this comes in your server operating system. So we have two operating systems to use in our computer network. One is a client operating system that we use in desktop machines and laptops, and another one is a server operating system that we use only in server machines. Okay, so what is the work of client OS? We know the work of client OS, browsing. See, whenever you are learning about any software or any application, first you should know what exactly is the use of that particular software or particular application. Like, if you take example of your mobile phone, there are many applications. Applications like, there is Swiggy and Zomato. Maybe what you do by using Swiggy or Zomato, you order your food. There is Ola or Uber. So what you do by using Ola and Uber, you can book your cab. There is a WhatsApp. What you do by using WhatsApp, you can chat with your friends and family, you can send audio, video, and you can make calls and all those things. So every application has a use, right? Is it possible for us to chat with our family members or chat with our friends by using an app like Ola? That's not possible, right? Because we know that application is designed for a special purpose. So that is what we need to understand first. What is the purpose of a client OS? What is the purpose of a server OS? Got it? So server OS is designed to manage a network. I repeat, server OS is designed to manage a network. Okay, fine. Now we have some types of server operating systems. So let us see what exactly are the types of server operating systems we have. types anyway. I can say some companies actually that provide you server operating system. Majorly two companies. One is your Windows, okay, and we have something called Unix. So we have Windows Server operating systems and we have like Unix operating system. In Windows, we have Windows Server 2021, 2019, 2016, 2012, 2008, 2003, 2000, and then there is something called NT 4.0. These are the versions we have from Windows Server, friends. Okay, whatever we have before 2008, these operating systems are outdated. Outdated means again the same thing. These operating systems are not supported by the Microsoft company. Windows is from Microsoft, right? So they are not supported by Microsoft company. That is a one thing. And in case if you're using 2008 in your company, in your server, there are no updates there. And in case if you're using 2008, there is no support. So if there is no update and if there is no support, then it is more easy for a hacker to hack your server. Or it is very easy for a virus to enter in your machine. So there is no proper security there. So if a operating system is outdated by that particular company, it's better you stop using that operating system. Okay. So we have operating systems from 2012, 16, 19 came in 19 and 2021 they recently launched 2021. These are the operating systems we have from Microsoft. Now we are learning 2016 or we can go with 2019 also, no issues. We can learn any of this operating system. But what if you're learning 2016 and if you go to companies still they are using 2012? That is possible, right? So actually when you go to companies, especially the big companies, you may see 2012, 2016 as well as 2019 there. You may see all the three operating systems. Of course, not in a single server, it will be in different servers. Then what to do? See, if you know 2016, you can work on 2019 as well as 2012. If you know 2019, you can work on 16 as well as, if you know any one operating system, you can work on any other operating system. It will be same. Most of the things in this operating system, especially in the server administration part, is same. Now, please remember one thing. Server operating system is not designed only for administration. Server operating system is designed for like virtualization also, cloud also, database also, some programming also. Okay, so these are the things available in your server operating system. A cloud administrator can connect to the server operating system and he can do the work related to cloud. A virtual administrator can connect to the server operating system. He can do the work related to virtualization. A database administrator can connect to the server operating system and he can do the work related to database. We as the administrators can connect to the same server and we can do the work related to our administration. Okay, so server operating system is designed for many purpose. So when they are releasing the operating systems, majorly they are making changes in cloud platform or in virtualization platform or in some security. Our administration part is more similar. It is more same in all the operating systems. I started from 2003 actually. I did 2000 also. I have some experience on Windows Server 2000 also, but majorly from 2003. But from 2003, 8, 12, 16, 19, most of the things practically inside a server, like creating a user, creating a group, okay, creating a department, there is something called group policy, sharing data, providing some security. Most of the things from 2003 till 2019, they are same. So we can go to company, we may have any server operating system there. It can be 12, 19, 16, or maybe even 21, who knows. Once you finish all your courses and once you get a job after like couple of months, maybe you may see a company using 2020 and also. But it's not so easy for a company to just upgrade to a new operating system. Upgrading to a new operating system means there are many other things they need to see. They need to like train their administrators. First of all, administrators should upgrade themselves or update themselves. That is the one thing. Second thing is they need to pay the license for the new operating system, right? So there are many things they need to consider. So it will not be easy for any company just to like go from 12 to 16, 16 to 19 every second year. Okay, but anyhow, so as administrator, we can see any operating system. We can go and see any operating system, and you can work on any OS from 2008 and above. Still, there are some companies which are using 2008, so we can work on any operating system. So we'll be learning 2016, but like I said, you can work on any other operating system if it is in the company. Fine. So these are the versions, or these are the editions of your Windows Server operating systems. So 2008 and before are outdated. 2012 and the latest one are the server operating systems which are in use. So this is one company. Microsoft is one company. They release their operating system with the name Windows, right? So Microsoft Windows Server operating systems. I repeat, Microsoft Windows Server operating system is the OS that we use, that we are learning. That is your MCSE part. The second OS that we have, that is again a very famous, is from Unix. You know, the most famous from Unix is, of course, Linux. In Linux, again, we have many versions like Fedora, Ubuntu, Kali, Debian, Red Hat, CentOS. All these are the OS from your Unix. We have something called Solaris. We have OS from HP. We have OS from IBM and etc. These are the operating systems we have. But I can say with 100% guarantee, friends, 90 to 95% companies, either they go with Windows Server operating system or Unix or Linux operating system. I repeat, 90 to 95% companies, they go with Windows Server operating system or Linux operating system. And if you go to a medium or big level company where there are like suppose 70, 80 servers, like servers are in more number, in those companies, they use both. They use Windows OS as well as the Unix OS. Actually, there are some services which works better on Windows and there are some services which works better on Linux. I'll give an example. You know, more than 80% websites over the internet, they are using Linux operating system actually. Maybe like close to 85% or maybe 90% websites, they use Linux operating system because it is more secure for that. So web service or websites are working on Linux because it is better there. But coming to Windows, there is a service called ADDS, Active Directory Domain Service. It is specially designed by Windows only. It is specially designed by Microsoft only. So it will not run on any other operating system. So if you want to manage your company network, maybe there are 100 computers or maybe there are 30,000 computers. If you want to manage your local area network, that is your company's network in a better way, then you should go with this Windows Server operating system. So this service is designed only by Microsoft and it will be there only on the Microsoft Windows Server operating systems. So if you go to medium and big level companies, you will see both the operating systems, Windows as well as Linux. So 90 to 95% cases all over the globe, the companies are working on, the servers are working on Windows Server operating system or Linux server operating system. Okay, friends, so these are the two server operating systems we have. One is from Microsoft Windows, another one is from Unix. Under Unix, the Linux is the most famous one. Okay, Linux is the most famous one. Okay, so please take your time, 30 seconds, and just try to revise what we have said till now about operating systems. I just do small revision here from the beginning. Operating system is the interface between a user and a hardware. A user, like you're a user, I'm the user. We cannot use a hardware without a operating system in that machine. Okay, So there are two types of operating systems. One is a client operating system, another one is server operating system. What we do in client operating system? In client operating system, the client operating system is installed in a computer or a laptop, right? And by using this client OS, we can browse internet, we can open an audio or a video file, we can do some office work, we can play some games and all those things. These are the things possible in our client operating system. Remember I told you every software is designed for a purpose. So this is the purpose of your client operating system. And the client operating systems that we use as of now are Windows 8 and 10. Majorly Windows 8 and Windows 10. Still you will see some people using Windows 7, although there is no support and there is no latest updates there, but still some people they go with like Windows 7. And hopefully very soon most of us will use Windows 11 also, right? They already launched this, so hopefully very soon we will use it. That is your client operating system. Done. And approximately the license for this client operating system, see, OS is not free, we need to pay some money. So approximately we need to pay, it depends on the country actually where you're living. That is the one thing, and it depends on how many license you are taking. If you want to take license for your one machine, then it may cost you around $100. But in case if you're in a company and if you're taking license for like 2,000 machines, maybe then per license it may cost you like $30 only. Like if you're taking more license, they will give some discount. It's a common business, right, in every field. So you'll get more discount there. So whatever, we have to pay money and we have to use the operating system. Without paying money, we cannot use a operating system in a company as well as in our machine. It should be a genuine operating system. It should not be a pirated operating system. Okay, that is your client OS. And coming to server OS, we know this, it will be used in servers. Windows Server operating system is similar to client OS in use. In use means in operating wise. But Windows Server operating system or Linux Server operating system is not designed for browsing. We can do browsing, but that is not the main purpose. We can open a audio or a video file, but that is not the main purpose. We can make a document there, but that is not the main purpose. What is the main purpose of a server operating system? Administration is the main purpose. Okay, let me just take you to a network here. What exactly administration is? You will see this administration in many ways actually in coming classes. As of now, if I just go to this network, a very small network, see, you can see clearly there is a server here. So in this server, which OS we need to install here? A server operating system. Let us say I'm going with Windows Server 2016. In this laptop, let us say Windows 10. In this desktop, let us go with Windows 8. Here I'll go with Windows 7. So by using that server machine, by using the server operating system in that server machine, I can control my whole network. I can control my whole network. So what exactly controlling means? I'll give one simple example. Controlling means, like, on top of this operating system, what we have to do? On top of this operating system, we have to install some applications. Without application, it's very difficult for us to use a computer or a server actually, or whichever machine it is. I repeat, without a application, it is very difficult for us to use a machine. Remember I showed you that example. There is a WordPad and there is a MS Word. WordPad is a default tool available which has very limited features. MS Word is actually application that has many more features. Okay, so on top of this operating system, we need to install some applications. Application or applications, whatever. We need to install many applications here. Okay, now there are, like, imagine 300 computers in your company. 300 computers is still a very small network, friends. Actually, it's not a big network. Okay, but still there are 300 computers, and suppose in every computer you should install antivirus, or you should install MS Office or any XYZ application. Antivirus in MS Office is more common, we use in every machine, so that's the reason I'm using that example. So imagine you are installing antivirus software or MS Office software in every computer. Remember how many computers we have totally? We have totally 300 computers. You know, if you want to install antivirus or MS Office in one computer, it may take around 10 minutes for you to install. One computer, 10 minutes. So if you do the calculation now, there are totally 300 computers. 300 multiplied by 10. It will take 3000 minutes. There is some time, right? It will take 3000 minutes for you to install MS Office or antivirus, any one application in all the 300 computers. But what if I say you can do the same work within, like, suppose say 20 minutes? You can install antivirus software in all the 300 computers within 20 minutes. How that is possible? That is possible by using a Windows Server operating system or a server operating system. By using the server operating system, remember I told you we can control a network, right? We can manage a network, we can do administration there. So in this server operating system, there are some options available. There is an option called group policy. In that group policy option, there is an option called software deployment. So by using this software deployment from server, we can do the installation of any application in all the computers or maybe some computers, whatever. Okay. So instead of taking 3000 minutes, instead of spending 3000 minutes, we can spend only like 15 to 20 minutes and we can install that application in maybe 300 computers or maybe like 1000 computers. Sounds good, right? We are saving a lot of time. One is 3000 minutes, another one is 20 minutes. So within 20 minutes, all the 300 computers, we have installed that application successfully. Now, this is what administration is all about. So this is one of the main reason for designing a server OS. In server OS, we have some extra options available. Compared to a client OS, in server OS, there are some extra options. Look wise, feel wise, operating wise, it will be same. Like I said you, there will be a recycle bin. Once you go to this PC, what you see here, so we have the desktop option, downloads, documents, pictures. Okay. This PC, we have like C drive, D drive, E drive. We know these part options for like many years, right? Maybe we started using computers from Windows XP. Actually, I started using computers from Windows 98. From then till now, once I open my computer or this PC, you see the same options, right? If you go to Windows Server 2016, there also you see the same options. There will be a document option, there will be a download option, there will be music, picture, D drive, C drive, everything will be same. But in our server OS, there are some extra options available. Okay, using those extra options, we can manage this whole network. There is a major difference between a server OS and a client OS. Server OS is designed for administration. Got it? So please take your time, 30 seconds. If there is any question or doubt, we will see. Then we can move to the next part. Okay, fine. So I guess everything is clear here. Let us move. Now, when you go with the operating system, like I said, there is something called a genuine operating system and there is a pirated operating system. From where we have to take this OS? Of course, we can go to www.microsoft.com or I can go to like, www.linux.com, redhatlinux.com. From there, I can download this operating system. Before we used to get operating system in CDs and DVDs, only in CDs and DVDs, maybe like, 10 years before. Still, we get the operating system in DVDs actually. If I show you like Windows Server 2016 DVD. Till today, we will get the operating system somewhere like in a DVD. So this is the DVD where you can get the operating system. But we know this very well. On DVDs, we can get some scratches. It's more easier to get a scratch on a DVD or a CD. So if you get a scratch on a DVD or a CD, that CD or DVD we cannot use, right? That is damage. So the softwares, the applications, the operating systems, whatever you say, now we are getting the softwares in a file actually. That file is called ISO. We are getting operating systems in a image file. ISO is a image file. So what we can do here is we can just go to this Microsoft.com. Okay, you can see Microsoft.com here. So just go to this Microsoft.com, and from here we can download our Windows Server 2016 or 19 or 22. Okay, it is 22 actually. I said 21 here by mistake. So this is not 21, friends. This is 22. Okay, so this is Windows Server 2022. Can you see here? So say there is Windows Server 2019 also available. There is Windows Server 2016 as well as 2012. But there is no 2008 visible here, right? I am connected to this Microsoft.com website. Okay, so right now we have only 2012, 16 and 19. So I can just go to Google. I can say Windows Server 2016 ISO image. So when I say ISO download, it will redirect me to the Microsoft website, and from there, see, it is Windows Server 2016, and I need to select this ISO image. This is your ISO image. It is a file actually. Okay, and it is this Windows Server operating system is free for how many days? 180 days. Evolution version is 180 days. That means for next 180 days we can use this operating system without paying money. So for practical purpose, you have to download this operating system in your computer for sure. Okay, so again go to Google, just type Windows Server 2016 ISO image. It will redirect you to the Microsoft website. Just go to this Microsoft website and select this ISO option here and say continue. So once you say continue, it will ask you to enter some username and company name and all the details. So just enter some details there. After entering the details, just say continue here. So once you say continue, it will download your ISO image. It may take like 5-10 minutes and it will download the ISO image. So I'm not entering any details here because I've already downloaded the image. But here you just enter any name, your name, just enter any XYZ company name and all this address and email address and all those things, and just click on continue. So if I go to my computer here, all the images I have already downloaded here. See, this is my Windows Server 2016. If I go to properties, can you see this is your ISO image, and the total size of this operating system is 6.49 GB. So this image I have already downloaded some years before actually. So I'm using the same image. You also can download the image and you can use this image for your installation purpose and for your practical purpose. Done. This is the way to download. Coming to the other image, that is Windows 7 and the other software, that is your VMware software. All these things I'll share with you by tomorrow. Okay, I'll share you the VMware software so that you can do all practical. So what is VMware and all those things, I'll explain you in the next class. So as of now, just no need to worry about those things. Just try to download this Windows Server 2016 by today, because tomorrow when we see the practicals, it will be easy for you to follow the practicals. It will be easy for you to do labs on your laptop. Okay, fine. Now, what exactly is that pirated software and a genuine software is all about? Genuine software means you have downloaded this genuine software from the Microsoft website, and after 180 days or before 180 days or on day number 180, you pay money and you purchase the license. So that is a genuine operating system. So if your operating system is a genuine operating system, what advantages you have? If the operating system is a genuine operating system, the first advantage we have is we have this support from Microsoft. Means in case if you're stuck anywhere, in case if you're facing some problem, you can simply send a message to the Microsoft people. They will help you in troubleshooting that particular issue. So you have support here. The second advantage here is you have updates. Whenever they are making some updates in the server OS, they will send the updates to you. You just need to connect to internet. And by the way, everything is connected to internet, right? Maybe there was a time like 20 years before or 15 years before, everything was not connected to server, but today each and every device in your network is connected to the internet. Okay, so updates will come automatically. So we will get supports and we will get updates, and we have like more security. And the fourth advantage here is less virus. So if you go with a genuine operating system here, friends, if you pay money and if you use the operating system, these are the advantages we have. We have the support, we have updates, we have more security, we have less virus. But in case if you are using a pirated operating system, what exactly pirated operating system means? You just took a copy of this operating system from XYZ person. Instead of paying 2,000 or $3,000, you just paid like 1,000 rupees. That is approximately like how many dollars? Like say $15. Instead of spending $3,000, you just paid $15 and you started using their server operating system. So if you use that pirated operating system, the first disadvantage here is there is no support. Second one is no updates. Third one is less secure. Fourth one is more or easy virus. And the fifth one is, I have to write this actually. Using a pirated operating system is a crime. You cannot use a pirated operating system in any computer in your company. You cannot use a pirated operating system in any server, because pirated operating system means we are not paying money to the Microsoft and we are still using their product. So Microsoft company can come to your company at any given time without informing you, and they can just check the machines and the servers. They have that much authority. I have seen this. I was working in some company some years before, and suddenly Microsoft people came to the company and they started looking at the machines, whether the operating system is a genuine operating system or a pirated operating system. If they find out the operating systems that they are using in their computers and servers is a pirated operating system, they can seize that particular company, and the boss of that company can go to the jail. The owners, the management, they can just go to the jail. That is a crime actually. So we should not use a pirated operating system, whether it is server operating system or whether it is client operating system. Although we have many disadvantages like no support, no update, less secure, more virus, but the most thing that we can afraid of here is like it's a crime. We can go to jail. So we should not use a pirated operating system. We should always use a genuine operating system. So how to know which OS is pirated and which OS is genuine? Of course, with a genuine operating system, you get a key. You get a license key. So that license key we need to enter in our machine. So once you enter the license key in the machine, your machine will connect to the Microsoft server, and now we are connected with the Microsoft server. So every time we will get updates, it will provide more security. It will try to remove more virus and all those things. So always try to use a genuine operating system. Okay, whether it is genuine operating system or whether it is genuine applications. Normally we feel like computer hardware is a bit costly or server is a bit costly, server hardware. Of course, it is costly. But when you compare hardware and software, actually software we are paying more money. In most of the cases, software we are paying more money. More money in the sense, we need to pay money for Windows Server 2016 and Windows 10. Then we are using some applications like antivirus, we have to pay money. MS Office, we have to pay money. Some accounts people are using accounts application, there we have to pay money. Finance people are using finance application, that we have to pay money. So whatever applications we are using, we have to pay money and we have to use. Normally people feel like, okay, just go to Google and say free antivirus, and they download that antivirus and they start using antivirus, and they assume that antivirus is free. But friends, actually it is free for only some time. That is a one thing. And the second thing is, it will stop some virus, not all types of virus. There are different types of virus available over the network. So if you are using a free antivirus, it will stop some types of virus. It will not stop everything. So you should not use any free software in your computers and servers, especially in companies. Of course, we should not do in our laptops also, in our personal machines also, but especially in a company, we should not think of using a free operating system or a pirated operating system, especially pirated operating system in our network. It is very easy for those people to know that you are using that operating system in so and so machine. It is not difficult for them to trace your machine. Technology has developed so much, right? Whatever applications you're using to hide yourself, still they can identify like where exactly a pirated operating system is used. Okay, so just remember this. This is what you need to say in the meeting. Actually, before we decide everything, before we make all the setup and all those things, there will be a meeting between the management and the administrators. So administrator have to inform the management like, okay, these are the servers we need, this many machines we need, these are the operating systems, these are the applications. We are the people who should design a network, right? So we have to tell them all these details. So then they have to go and purchase the server operating system. See, there is a question here like, for downloading ISO image, what type of internet connection we need? You take any internet connection, but if you are using internet through your mobile phone, maybe it is not sufficient for you to download that 6.4 GB file. So just go with a normal internet connection, you can download it. Yeah, you're using, I think, the mobile phone internet. So you have to take a normal cable internet connection and then you can download. Okay. So I hope it is clear now what is the difference between a pirated OS and a genuine OS. Okay. And we have many more disadvantages in pirated OS. Actually, machine will not work perfectly. Anytime the server can reboot or anytime server can go down automatically. So just make it a thing clear forever. We should not go with a pirated operating system ever in our life in companies, especially in companies or anywhere. We should simply take the license and we should use that particular software. And company have to pay. They have to pay, right? That is their business, so they have to pay. So they will pay and we are using that particular software. Okay, friends. So I hope it is clear now what is operating system, types of operating systems. Okay. And what is the difference between a server OS and a client OS, and what we have under server OS, that is Windows Server as well as Unix servers. So I hope this is also clear. And the last thing that we have seen here is the difference between a pirated OS and a genuine operating system. So tomorrow there is our next class. We need to see the installation. But before we go with the installation, we need to see like VMware first of all, how the VMware works, and what is the difference between VMware and cloud computing. That also we will cover tomorrow. And if time permits, we'll start the installation by tomorrow. If not, then we'll go with the installation after tomorrow. We have at least one class for like operating system installation. But before I go to the operating system installation, like I said, I have to go with this VMware software. I have to take you to this VMware software. We need to see what is virtual machine, how to create virtual machines, and how to install operating system in virtual machine, and how to use virtual machines. All these things we will see in more details in our next class. Okay, there was a question here like, what is the difference between 32-bit operating system and 64-bit operating system? Was that the question? Yeah. See, 32-bit and 64-bit, I'll just try to put this in a very simple way. Try to use a application, a processor and a software which is 64-bit only. 64-bit is more faster than 32-bit. That is one thing. 64-bit will support all the applications, all the operating systems compared to 32-bit. Okay, when you say bit, means you're mentioning some size here, right? 32-bit and 64-bit. So 64-bit is more faster, it can handle more traffic, and it has more support on all the other applications. So whenever you take a laptop or whenever you take a computer or whenever you take a operating system, always take with a 64-bit support. Actually, nowadays, whatever we are taking, everything is 64-bit, the new one. But suppose if you're opting for a used laptop, you can get a second-hand laptop and desktop also. And if that processor is supporting only 32-bit, better not to take that processor because you cannot install Windows Server on it and you cannot practice on it. So better go with 64-bit operating system and 64-bit processor. So how I know whether my operating system is 32-bit or 64-bit? Just go to the the computer properties, and here we can see system type, 64-bit operating system and x64-bit processor. So this machine is a 64-bit machine and a 64-bit operating system. So it will support all the other applications. The machine performance will be better. So each and everything will be better here. Okay, so better go with 64-bit only. And there was one more message here, like we can mount other applications on it. I mean, install, provide. Yeah. So we have seen this, right? On top of this operating system, there are some applications here, right? We have some application here. Okay, now on top of this server operating system, yeah, wait a second, Avinash. On top of this server operating system, here we have two things actually. One is we can install applications. Applications like your MS Office, antivirus, all these things we can install. But server operating system is specially designed to run services. So what are these applications and what are the services that we have to see in more details? Applications we know very well, MS Office, antivirus, these are the basic examples we can take as of now. But coming to services, services is the main part we are learning in our server administration course, like DNS service, DHCP service, ADDS service, all these things we need to see. Okay, so on top of this operating system, we need to install something so that we can use that machine in a better way. Operating system has basic features and basic functionalities. Application or services will make your operating system more stronger actually. I repeat, applications or services make your operating system more stronger. Hardly we see any computer where there are no applications installed. Hardly we see any server operating system where there is no services installed. Okay, so these are the two things we will see in our coming classes. Okay, friends, so I hope the concept is clear, operating system. So I'll be here for like 30 more seconds. If you have anything else to say, anything else to discuss, we will see. The cable internet connection actually we need to take. Okay, ad corporation is there in Chennai also, so you can go with like this ACT, or you can go with like Airtel or Spectra is also showing here. So there are like many ISPs. You should contact any of the ISP. Wherever you're living in Chennai, whichever location in Chennai, just try to check just go to Google and see like, ISP providers. ISP means internet service provider. Just internet service provider near me. Like right now you are in Chennai, right? So just say internet service provider near me. So it will show you some internet connect providers there. Like here it is showing me like Airtel, Act Fiber, Exitel, these are the ISP providers there near my home actually in Hyderabad. So just try to enter this, you will get some internet providers there and they will bring a cable to you and you can take the internet connection there. Exactly, broadband. They may charge like 600 rupees, 700 rupees, whatever. You can just pay and you can use. 2 GB is only for like our mobile phone applications anyway, right? Like browsing your WhatsApp or getting through some messages and emails and all those things. But if you want to go more, like if you want to like download some applications and softwares, 2 GB is no way sufficient. Better have this internet connection in your home. With a Wi-Fi router, that is much better actually. Okay, friends. So that was the session for today. We have seen some operating system use types and all those things. And the next class, like I said, is about the virtualization in cloud. Then we can see how to install the operating system. So hopefully it will take next 2 days for us to finish our operating system part. Then we are more than happy to enter into the administration part. Okay, so by Friday we can finish this operating system part. Okay, so that's it, friend. That's it for today, and see you tomorrow. Take care. So see you tomorrow with this same topic, but some different things. Okay, friends. Thank you again. Thanks for joining. See you tomorrow. Take care, guys. Bye.